Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagawa Buddhang Bhagawantang Abhivademi. Suakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami. Supatipanno Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya. Welcome everyone to this special commemoration today. Today, well, actually 2 days from now is the full moon, but we are coming up very soon on the full moon of March, the Punami, the full moon of the month of Paguna. And this is a special day. It's a day when we commemorate the life and the passing away of one of the great awakened women of the past, a woman who had many names. We know her, she's probably best known by the name Yasodhara. She had that name as the wife of the Bodhisattva, the future Buddha Gautama, during the time before he went forth. He was also known during that same time sometimes as Bimba Devi, the queen. So Bimba Yasodhara. She is known for having been the mother of the Bodhisattva's child, Rahula. And so she's known as Rahula Mata, the mother of Rahula. And often those are the only names that people know her by. But she did, in fact, later in her life go forth as a bhikkhuni. She became fully awakened. She became an arahant, a great leader among the bhikkhunis. And during that time, she was known by a different name, Bhattakachana, the Venerable Bhattakachana Theri. So we honor her by all of these names. And today we're here to remember a special date. So this date of the Paguna Punami is commonly remembered as the lunar anniversary of the Buddha's first homecoming. After his awakening, about a year later, he went home to his original city of Kapilavatthu. He saw again his family members, and both his mother and his father attained stream entry during that time. Just slightly later, the same day, maybe the next day, then Yasodhara also attained stream entry. And then their son Rahula went forth as a little novice monk at age 7. And so this is the commonly told story about this date. But there is additional to that a long manuscript tradition in Thailand and other parts of Southeast Asia commemorating this date as the day of Yasodhara or Bhattakachana Theri's Parinibbana, her passing away many years later at the age of 78 as a bhikkhuni arahant. Now, she's said to have been born the same day as the Buddha, so age 78 means this was about 2 years before the Buddha's own Parinibbana. And we didn't know about this date here at Dhamma Training until about 2 years ago, when our founding Abbess Taloka learned about this in the manuscript traditions, and she's been continuing to learn and share about it. And I'm going to put in the chat a link to anyone who's interested in getting the latest updates on what she's most recently learned about this. Well, this is to a blog post about recent updates. We're not going to give the full scholarly details about this today. This is our winter retreat time at Dhamma Training, so in lieu of the scholarly report, we're going to honor this great awakened elder bhikkhuni with our practice, with our devotion, with our memory of her. So in a moment, we're going to chant together some verses from her Apadana, from her heroic biography. This comes from the Pali Canon. It's said to be her own words. Though it seems like these texts may have been a little bit later than that when they were actually recorded. But it's very interesting to be able to hear her own words. Her story often is told only about the time when she was the wife of the Bodhisattva. She's known as the wife who was left. And people, some people think, oh, how could the Buddha do that? How could he leave his wife and child and family? And there's been many books and movies and things made about this, about the sort of heartbreak of that for Yasodhara. And that's been, in a way, the focus of her story as it's popularly told, often, not always. And that's certainly part of it. But today we want to remember her whole story, which is not only that. She's not only a wife and mother who was left behind, but she, well, in that particular life, she went on. She entered monastic life. She awakened fully. And she became a great leader among the bhikkhunis, a great teacher, an inspiring figure all around. And we'll see as we read her Apadana together, at the time of her passing away, she decided it was time. She decided to go while the Buddha was still living, while she could still say her final farewells to her former husband and now teacher. And at that time, he asked her, please show miracles. I give you my permission to go, but demonstrate your power. Show your awakening and your strength and your wisdom to us so that no one could have any doubt about that. And she did. So we'll read about that a little bit in the sutta, the Apadana, when we chant it in a moment. The other part that she tells the story of in this Apadana is about her previous lives. And we learn that this was not the only life when she was the partner of the Buddha. They had been partners for many, many eons together. Many eons prior, at the time of Dipankara Buddha. Sorry, not Dipankara. Yes, Dipankara Buddha. Many, many eons ago. I think that's 27 Buddhas ago. It's a long time. Dipankara Buddha was the one who made the prediction that our Gautama Buddha would eventually awaken, would become a fully self-awakened Buddha. And he also made the prediction at that time that Yasodhara would be with him throughout all those lifetimes, that she would support him, that she would fulfill all the same paramis that he did, that they would be a pair, and that they would eventually awaken together, that she too would be fully awakened. It says in the Apadana, like a lion freed from her cage. And so we know this was her choice. Story goes, at the time she was a young maiden, she was going to see Dipankara Buddha. She had a handful of 8 lotuses. She saw who would one day be the Buddha Gautama. At the time he was named Sumedha. He was a sage, not yet awakened. She saw him and she thought, oh, my life is bearing fruit. She gave him 5 lotuses. She kept 3 for herself. And then both of them were able to offer that to the Dipankara Buddha of that time. And that's when he made his prediction that they would be together throughout those eons and that they would awaken together, that they would support each other. So we should not think of her only as an abandoned wife. We should think of her as a great practitioner and a great support who was together throughout all that time. And we're very glad that we're able to remember her, that we're able to know this date of her great miracles, of the time when the Buddha asked her herself to display that, to show her strength. You know, that's him supporting her again, this mutuality. And we're joined amazingly by her bodily relics here today with me in the little glass stupa on the lotus here. These came to us this past Vasa by surprise from Sri Lanka, and we're very honored that we've been entrusted to care for them for some time. We don't know how long, but they're here with us now, and we have this opportunity to honor them and to honor Yasodhara with our presence, with our memory, with our chanting, with our practice of meditation. And just one more thing to say before we get to the chanting. I have another great woman elder sitting by me here. This photo is of Ayapanyawati Bhikkhuni, who is a modern day Bhikkhuni and elder of our present Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha, who passed away just a few days ago after a long and fruitful life. So we were remembering her too with our, and honoring her also, dedicating this practice to her also. With that, I'm going to put some chanting on the screen for us. Those here in person, if you can't see the screen, you are welcome to, here, you can give to them. Welcome to chant along. Those on Zoom, I'm going to ask you to keep muted just because the sound quality doesn't work out, unfortunately, online in this way. But welcome to chant along, or welcome to just read the English translation as we go. It's this is an excerpt from her Apadana. The full story is much longer, but we don't have time for all of it today. So just going to do what we can here. All right. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Ekasmin samaye ramme itera jagahe pore pabharam hiware kamhi vasante naranayake vasantiyatam hinagare ramme bhikkhunupasaye Yasodhara bhikkhuniya Ewangasivitakitang Sudhodano Maharaja Gautamni Japajapati Abhinyata Mahatera Teriyo Chamahittika Santingata wa asungte Dipachi wa nirasawa Lokanate tarante wa hampi chasiwang parang Kamisami dijintetwa pasanti ayumatano Horakata bhikkhuni satehi sahasehi sa Mahitika mahapanya sambodhang upasangami Sambodhang vadetva satuno chakalakane Nisina ekamantang hi idang vachanam abravi Arthasattati vasahang pachimo vattate vayo Pabharam hyanupata aroje mahamuni Paripakko vayo maihang paritang mama jiwitang Pahaya yogamisami katang me saramatano Sangsaritva cha sangsare kalitanche mamangtai Aroche mi mahawira aparadhang kamasume Sudwana vachanang tassa munindo idamabravi Kimuttarang te vakkami nibbanaya vajantiya Idincha pinidasehi mama sasanakarike Parisanancha sabba sankankang chindasu yavata Yasodhara ahang vira agare te pajapati Sakyam hikule jata iti ange patitrita Chakawala samangkayang sisang uttarato guru Ubho pakkadu dipa jambo dipang sarirato Dakinancha sarang pincang nana sakatu pataka Chandancha suryanchaki merupapatato sikang Yasodhara ahang vira pade vandami chakuma Sahasaloka dhatunang pulapadmena chadayi Ube nivasang janami diva chakku visodhitang Sabasava parikkina natidani punabhavo Yang maihang poritang kammang kusalang sarase mune Vihattaya mahawira punyang upachitang maya Neka koti sahasani pariyataya dasimang Natatta vimana homi Tvihattaya mahamuni Neka koti sahasani Jivitani parichaching Bhayamokang karisanti Dadami mawavjivitang Dana dhanya parichagang Gamani nikamani cha Ketang putta cha dhita cha Parichatta mahamuni Adhikarang bahung maihang Tvihattaya mahamuni Gawe sato buddha dhamme ahang te paricharika Atta upalahattani pujanat Taya Satuno Adaya Jana Sammaje Adasang Isimugatang Chiranukatang Daitang Atikandang Manoharang Niswatata Amanyisang Sapalang Jiwitang Mama Bhiyo Chitang Pasade Sing Ise Ugatamanase Deyang Anyang Tapasami Demi Pupani Te Isi Panchahatta Tawa Huntu Tayo Huntu Maimang Ise Tena Sating Samahuntu Bodhataya Tawang Ise Isikahetwa Pupani Agachantang Mahayasang Puje Sijana Sammaje Bodhataya Mahaisi Pasitwa Jana Sammaje Dipankaro Mahamuni Vyakasi Mahawiro Isimugatamana Aparimeye ito kape Dipankaro Mahamuni Mamakamang Vyakasi Ujubhawang Mahamuni Samachita Samakamma Samakari Bhavisati Viyahe Satikamena Vihataya Mahaisi Tasate Anukampanti Porayisati Parami Siho Panjarang Petwa Papunisati Podiyang Upakara Chayanari Yachanari Sukhe Dukhe Attakayi Chayanari Yachanari Nukambika Panchakoti Sata Buddha Nawakoti Satanicha Ete Sangdewa Dewanang Mahadanang Pawatpiyang Kinasawawi Tamala Asankhya Buddha Sawaka Adhikarang Mahamayhang Dhammaraja Sunohime Nibinditwana Sangsare Babajing Anagariyang Sahasi Pariwarena Babajitwa Akinchana Agarang Wijahitwana Babajing Anagariyang Adhamaseya Sampate Chatusachamapapuning Kilesa Chapita Maihang Bhawasabbe Samuhata Nagi Wabandhanang Chetwa Viharami Anasawa Yadadati Sakattanang Punyataya Mahesino Sahaya Sambara Hunti Nibbana Padama Sankatang Parikina Atitancha Pachupanang Anagatang Sabbakamang Mamangkinang Padewandami Chakuma Itang Sudang Yasodhara Bhikkhuni Samukkai Magatayo Apasitati Yasodhara Theri Apadanang Attamang Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We'll sit together in silence for a little while, reflecting on the life of Yasodhara Theri and honoring her with our practice, with our following in her example. the end, we'll close with a little bit of blessing chanting in memory of her. Oh, Anumodana, appreciation for all of this practice. I invite you to join me in dedicating the merits of this practice today in honor of Yasodhara Rahulamata Vadakachana Theri, our great awakened elder, that the power of this memory and this practice may inspire us to follow her in her commitment, courage, strength, wisdom, generosity. I also like to dedicate merits to Venerable Panyawati Bhikkhuni, who passed away recently, remembering and rejoicing in her strength, her brightness, in all the goodness of her life, and dedicating our merits for her full awakening soon, if not already. Sharing merits also with all of us for our own full awakening, for our own growth in the path, for our own happiness, and for everyone we meet, for the long life of the Buddha Sasana. May this practice be a blessing for all of us, for all beings. In closing, we'll do a brief blessing chanting. It's on your paper there on the last page, those who are here. And so some of you who have attended our programs in the past may be familiar with this blessing chanting, the recollection of the foremost Arahant Bhikkhunis. It has this recollection of 13 different foremost Arahant Bhikkhunis, remembered each for a different quality that the Buddha himself said they were foremost in. The Venerable Bhatta Kachana Theri was the greatest of those with higher knowledges. And this has been made into a blessing chant, asking that the power of her qualities always be a blessing to us. So it's just this one verse. We'll chant it a few times together as we close. Theri tu Bhatta Kachana Mahavinyana Muttama Jinena Sukha Dukkhang Sa Sada Soting Karotu no Theri tu Bhatta Kachana Mahavinyana Muttama Jinena Sukha Sa Sada Soting Karotu no Theri tu Bhatta Kachana Mahavinyana Muttama Jinena Sukha Sa Sada Soting Karotu no Theri tu Bhatta Kachana Mahavinyana Muttama Jinena Sukha Sa Sada Soting Karotu no Theri tu Bhatta Kachana Mahavinyana Muttama Jinena Sukha Sa Sada Soting Karotu no Sadhu, 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 Anumodama. And final closing by paying respects to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, including especially this particular Sangha member the Arahant Bhikkhuni Bhattakachana Theri. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Suakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Sanghang Namami.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Anumodana.
So thank you all for joining. We will have some more silent meditation time with the relics on Tuesday evening during our regular Silent Tuesday evening program. So welcome to join us then if you like. And for now, good afternoon, good evening.
Thank you.